Hello, everyone. You're welcome to Ami Diconia. This is a place where we learn, we unlearn, and we relearn. And I am Messi Chinwe Obona, your host on today's episode. You're welcome once again. Please, if you're just joining us for the very first time and you've not subscribed, please, this is the time to do that. And please click on the notification bell. It's very important. I want you to be the very first person to see our videos as soon as they come up. And please like our videos. Share with people you think will like our videos and you think it will be useful too. Having said that, last time we started a series on understanding purpose. And on the last episode, we talked about what purpose means. We tried to define what purpose was, and we looked at some myths on purpose. And don't forget that the most important aim of this series is to make the concept of purpose very simple. We're not going to be saying all of those big things, all of those big words, or you know, the essence of this series is to make it very relatable, very simple, to break it down for you so that it won't look very big or up there or very mysterious. Something that you can relate with. Okay, so on today's episode, we'll be looking at how to find purpose or how to discover purpose. We also be looking at how you can unlock your potentials because purpose and potentials, living out your purpose and your potentials, they go hand in hand. Okay, they work together. So it's important that after you've understood your purpose, it's also important for you to discover your potentials and to also know how you can actually utilize these potentials to the fullest. So, on today's episode, we'll be looking at that, how to discover your potentials and also how to utilize it to the fullest. And the last thing we'll be looking at on today's episode is we'll be looking at how to balance the spiritual or religious angle of purpose and the conventional angle. So we're going to be looking at how to balance these angles on today's episode. Having said that, let's delve into the business of today. So how can you discover purpose? I like to say that there's a general purpose and specific purpose. This reminds me of a recitation we used to say as children in the children catechism class. Catechism class is like a class where you're taught things about the faith, maybe church doctrine, and all of that. So during the catechism classes, there's this recitation that came to mind while I was looking at this topic purpose or how to discover purpose. The teacher will ask you, who made you? God made me. Why did God make you? And you hear us reciting, God made me to love him, to serve him, and to be happy with him forever in heaven. Like we're always reciting that as children. But thinking about it now, I like to say that this kind of sums up our entire reason for existence. Yes, if you look at it, yeah, it's broad to love him, to serve him, and to be with him forever in heaven. So the general purpose is what I'm talking about now. So that for those of you that might be saying, oh, I've not discovered what my calling is, I've not discovered what my assignment is, start with all of this. The general purpose, walk in love. Love towards God, love towards your neighbor, serve, okay? And to be happy with Him forever in heaven. When you do all of these things, have eternity at the back of your mind, okay? Very important. And I know you'll be like, okay, if this is a general purpose, how do I walk in love? How do I serve? God I've never seen is not here. But yeah, hey, you have your fellow human beings, you have your neighbors. Remember a story in the Bible where they were saying, when were you hungry and we didn't feed you? When were you thirsty and we didn't give you water to drink? When were you ever in prison and we didn't even come to visit you? Like, when were you naked and we didn't clothe you? And he said, if you did it for your fellow human beings, then he did it unto me. Okay, so it's very simple, And then I remember somewhere that says, we are God's workmanship, okay, created in Christ Jesus to do good works. So, general purpose: love God, serve Him, have eternity at the back of your mind. He created you to have fellowship with Him, okay? Fellowship with God, fellowship with your other your fellow human beings, okay? So that's basically what I can say about the general purpose, okay? So, talking about the specific purpose now, I'm calling it specific purpose because I believe that we all have our different areas of assignment, we all have our different areas of calling, we all have different things that we ought to do, like bits, to make the big picture. What is your part in this big or this mighty God's plan? What is that part? What is your own portion in it? I like to start by saying that if you want to discover the purpose of something, maybe a product, do you ask the product? No, you don't ask the product, you ask the manufacturer. Same goes with you and I. If you want to discover why you're here, that specific thing, why did you really make me? What is that thing that you made me to do? You should ask the one that created you. We should ask God. Yeah, simply put, that God is the only one that can reveal your purpose to you. You can't reveal your purpose to yourself. You can't give yourself a purpose, okay? So all you need to do is ask, seek, search, and you receive answers and find what you're looking for. Let me give you some examples of people that had specific assignments or calling. Now, talking about the specific purpose, I know we've looked at the general, what everybody ought to be doing, what we ought to be doing, irrespective of who you are, irrespective of what your assignment is, irrespective of what your calling is. Okay, we've looked at what we all should be doing. Looking at Bible characters, we see Jeremiah. He told him that before you were even from your mother's womb, I already ordained you to be a prophet to the nations. You see, that was his own. Moses, why did he come? He had an assignment to deliver the children of Israel, of course, from Egypt. John the Baptist, why? He came as a forerunner, okay, of Jesus Christ. We have a lot of examples like that. I'm using Bible examples because these are standards and they are proven and all. I don't want to give examples of people. I see people around that you've seen that have specific callings or assignments, but I'm just using Bible examples, okay? So these are people that had their specific callings or assignments spelled out to them. So I'm trying to say that you too can discover what it was that you were made for, okay? What is that area? What is that? What is the part of God you were created to express, okay? What is the bit you're supposed to do, to complete the whole puzzle? So that's what we're talking about today. And we've said that you have to ask Him, okay, what it is that He put you here to do. It's as simple as that. Okay, you don't have to crack your brains. It's not a brain thing, please. Just ask the person that made you and put you here. Why am I here? What am I doing here? Why did you bring me here? It's very simple, please. So it's not nothing to worry about. Okay, so the next thing we're going to be looking at is potential. And why are we looking at potential? Because the potential of everyone is actually related to their purpose. Okay, so if you're talking about purpose, you have to talk about the things that you require, all right, to fulfill purpose. So that's why we'll be looking at potential. Remember, I said we're going to be discussing how to discover your potentials and how to utilize it, right? So we're going to be looking at potentials. For example, when a manufacturer produces a product, he builds into that product the ability to do what that product was manufactured to do, right? Same goes to you. When God created you, He actually deposited in you, He built into you the ability, all that you require to fulfill the purpose, the calling, or the assignment that He created you for. So all you need to do is unlock them, and then you're good to go. Okay, so what is potential? Quickly, I like the way Dr. Miles Monroe of blessed memory talks about potential. In fact, he's very passionate about that topic. He said potential is an ability that is dormant, it's just there. It's power that is reserved, it's just there. It's untapped strength, unused success, hidden talents, all of those things that have been buried in the inside of you. You know, so potential is all of those things that you can be, but you have not yet become. Okay, it's how far you can reach, but you've not yet reached. How much you can accomplish, but you've not yet accomplished. So that's what potential is. So it then means that we all have potentials, right? We all have potentials. So how can you discover these potentials? I like to still go back or refer us back to God or whatever your manual for living is, the Bible. I like to still refer us back to the Creator, okay? Because all the answers lie with Him. You might ask someone, they might just be guessing or giving you their own opinion, but He will give you the accurate answer, exact what you're looking for, okay? So I like to always refer us back to Him, okay? So in discovering your potential, you have to refer to Him or from His manual, the Bible. It spells out all of the abilities we have. You can do all things. Whatever you set your mind to do, you can do it, you can do it, you can do it. That is, there is no limitation to the things that you can do. Okay. Another way that I'd like to say we can discover our potentials is through taking up responsibilities, okay, like work or service. You might not know what you can do until you try it out, right? So that's why we shouldn't always run away from opportunities to work or to serve, do something. You might not know that you have the ability to do something until you try your hands on it. Take up responsibilities. Don't run away from responsibilities, okay? Work, 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 work. Very important. Serve, okay? That's how you discover those things that are on the inside of you that you didn't even know was there. All right. So when you do all of those things and then you discover your potentials, no, so I can do this thing. I didn't even know that I could talk like this. Okay, maybe I'm made for public speaking or use my talking talents to maybe address people, influence people. So you never can tell. Just try out things. Opportunities come, just try, try. And in trying, you discover those things you have passion for, and then you begin to fine tune those passion, fine tune the potentials, refine them, okay, until they are very, very smooth, right? Okay, so we talked about maximizing potential or how you can use your potential. We said you can discover your potential by asking your creator, what his word says, and then also taking up responsibilities, working, and service. So how can you now, when you've discovered your potential, how can you now use it, utilize it, put it to good use? I would like to say that you can also put your potentials to use by using it to serve or work. Yes, that's one of the ways you can utilize or maximize your potential. Share it with others. Share your gifts, your talents. Share it with others. That's one way you can put it out there and put it to the fullest use. Now, there's one author I like so much, Miriam Wright Edelman. She said something. Doing good for others is just the rent you pay for living on this earth. So, are you then living rent free on earth? If you are, when are you going to start paying your rent? Again, have you heard that the grave is like the wealthiest place on the earth? It contains many untapped potentials, many books that we couldn't read, many songs that we couldn't hear, many things that we couldn't see, many ideas that weren't put to work. So, I beg you, do not contribute to the wealth of the grave. How can you do that? Give out all of the things that are inside of you. Use it to serve. so that you die empty. So the last thing is, how do you balance the spiritual and conventional angles to purpose? So is purpose just related to religious people, spiritual people, the faith people, or does it cut across board? Purpose concerns everybody, irrespective of your religion, affiliation, irrespective of your faith or your belief, it affects you. So let's say, for instance, if one is a Christian, does your fulfilling purpose has to be on the pulpit? Does it have to be within the confines of the church or church related matters? No, you can fulfill purpose across all spheres of human endeavors. It doesn't have to be in the church, you know, it doesn't have to be church related, but you can fulfill purpose across all spheres of human endeavors. And then we have, for example, we have the seven mountains of influence, like it's being called. So you can be in the mountain of religion, education, government, entertainment, business, family, and media. So, where do you belong? Don't forget that walking in purpose is the key to our fulfillment. Before I leave you, I'd like to tell you that it's a gradual process, okay? It's a process. Don't beat yourself up. It's one step at a time, but the most important thing is stay on it. Be consistent. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate the wins, both big and small, while you keep pushing yourself. I hope that this episode or this series was very helpful, was useful. If you have questions, comments, things that you think that we missed out that you want others to know, please you can drop on the comments section. Your questions, you can drop them in the comment section and then we'll look at them and we'll provide responses to you. So this is how far we can go on today's episode. Thank you so much for your time. If you like this video, please don't forget to share with people you love. Don't forget to subscribe as well. Don't forget to follow us across all our social media handles. I remain Messi Chinwe Obuna. See you next time.